Start with the roll call, please.
Board Member Campos,
Here.
Board Member Gorel,
I'm here.
Board Member Levere, Board Member Long, Board Member McQueen Lejean,
Here.
Board Member Mendez,
Here.
Board Member Parvin,
Here.
Board Member Whitman, Board Member Zaragoza, and Chair Lopez.
Here. All right, and with that, we will do the Pledge of Allegiance, and if I can ask Member Campos to lead us. Thank you, Councilmember Campos. We have item number 4, minutes of the meeting of April 9th. Do we have any changes or action?
Chair, I'll move approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstentions? All right. Item number 5, agenda review. Do we have any changes or revisions to the agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda.
Thank you, and we don't need an action on that, correct? All right, so we are on to item number 6, public comment. Do we have any public speakers or a statement that needs to be read?
I do not believe we have any public comment, but just in case, to members of the public who wish to address the board today with live public comments on any agenda item, please visit ventura.org/COB/APCB for participation information and instructions. For in-person public comment, please check in with the deputy clerk. If you wish to make public comments, you must be in the boardroom, or if participating remotely, you must be connected to the meeting via Zoom or telephone before the close of the public comment period for each agenda item. Requests to make live public comments on an agenda item will be accepted until the public comment period for each agenda item is complete. For our remote participants, please accept the prompt to be promoted and unmute your mic when it is your turn to speak. For all public comments, the in-person speakers present in the boardroom will be called upon first, followed by remote participants. At the discretion of the chair, general public comments regarding air pollution control district related matters that are not listed on the agenda but are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board may be moved to the end of the meeting. Chair Lopez, at this time, we are not seeing any requests to speak. Thank you.
Thank you. We will move on to board comments. Do you have any board members who would like to make any comments? All right. Item number 8, we have our air pollution control officer comments. Mr. Gazemi?
Good afternoon, Chair Lopez, members of the board. Ali Ghasemi, Executive Officer of Ventura County APCD. I'd like to report in regard to personnel and vacancy. We are still in the process of filling the positions of air quality monitoring technicians and specialists. In regard to APCD programs, we continue with our regular activities. All divisions are working on their respective tasks. Regarding the recent important programs activities, I would like to provide your board with an update that AB 2298, which was Blue Whales, Blue Skies, passed unanimously through the Assembly floor on May 22nd and now moves to the Senate. That's all I have, and I'm ready to take any question you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Gazemi. Any questions or comments for? Nope. All right. We will move on to item number 9, the annual comprehensive financial report. Mr. Gazemi?
Yes. For the record, Ali Ghasemi, Executive Officer of Ventura County APCD. This item is just for your board information. It is the receive and file of the annual comprehensive audit for our agency's fiscal year ended June 30th, 2023. The audit was conducted by Eddie Bailey, an independent certified public accounting firm. The audit resulted in 2 reports. The first report is the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report, referred to as ACFR, and the second report is the Single Audit Report. The single audit report is required to satisfy the federal requirements if the agency receive any federal grant greater than $750,000. I'm happy to report that the auditor's report expressed an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion an auditor can provide for audits of financial statements. For our single audit, it was determined that we complied with all the federal requirements in all material respects. That's all I have, and I'm ready to take any question you may have.
Any questions or comments? All right. Well, thank you for that report, and it's really great to get this type of response back and really demonstrates the good work that is being done by the district. So thank you, Mr.
Thank
Ghazeemi.
you. I appreciate it.
All right. And there's no public comment, just to make sure?
There are no requests to speak on this agenda item or any agenda item currently.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to item number 10, and I will go ahead and open up the hearing for the adoption of the Ventura County Air Pollution Control District proposed fiscal year 24-25 budget. And there's a presentation, Mr. Ghazeemi?
Yes. I just want, the proposed fiscal year 24-25 budget was presented to your board's standing committee on April 9th. The standing committee unanimously voted to recommend that your board approve the district proposed budget. Today, as you mentioned, this is the first of the second two statutory required public hearing on adoption of fiscal year 24-25 APCD proposed budget. We recommend to your board to approve this. Now, I would like to present you with the PowerPoint presentation, which includes our proposed operating budget, the pass-through grants budget, the district net operating cost, comparison between this fiscal year and last adopted budget, and total proposed operating revenue, and finally, our fund balance. With that, may I have the presentation? The slide that you see right now, it is our proposed budget. Our proposed fiscal year 24-25 proposed budget comprised of two distinct funds. One of them is operating budget funds, 0700, and the other one pass-through grants budget, which is governed by Fund 0701. What is our primary intention is to cover operational needs, which are completing our property improvement, continue improving our operational efficiency through modernization of permit systems and enforcement and actually monitoring equipment. And at the same time, last but not least, we maintain our fund balance at the desired targeted level. We are organized in 7 divisions. The fiscal and administration division, which they responsible for HR activity, outreach, and fiscal, capital outlay. Information, the second division is information management system, which their main job is to provide, they're maintaining our computer equipment, software applications. They basically helping us to provide us with the tool to do our work in more efficient way. Engineering division, their function is they are handling all of the permitting activities, and they are setting permit conditions to ensure that we are meeting the standards. At the same time, in this division, currently they are responsible for emission inventory and forecasting. Then planning division, they are responsible for to develop rules and prepare plan and strategies to meet the federal and state standards. Then our monitoring division, they are in charge of air quality. They are providing us with air quality data so we know how well we are doing to achieve the federal and state standards. They're also responsible for daily air quality and air quality reports. Compliance, they are actually in charge of all of the enforcement activities. Oh, and the last one is, how do I go back? Oh, yeah, I saw it. Sorry. And the last division was the county actually support services that we are working directly with them regarding HR matters. Actually, the fiscal and auditor control is another one of those divisions. Okay, this is a summary of our proposed budget, which is we are actually proposing we propose appropriation for operating fund of 0700 about 9.2 million. The estimated revenue is about 8.6. That result in a net cost of $563,380. $563,380. And then our pass-through grants is about 9.2 million, which all has to be actually dispersed to the actually with the facilities and operations. So there is there is nothing left in that one. And this is all we do with the total staff of 47, a full-time employee, and we have 2 actually extra help and 1 student worker. I just want to point out some of the important parts regarding our pass-through grants. We have about, for the fiscal year 24-25, we have about $15 million, which includes the remaining funds from the last fiscal year. But we are actually dispersing all of this money with having 4 full-time employee, 4 FTE, and these grants, the sources of these grants are Carl Moyer program, AB 134, which is Community Air Protection, a CAP program, then Farmers program, Carl Moyer Reserve program, Vessel Speed Reduction program, and other small program as well. The net cost of $563,380 is not actually the actual net cost. It includes $300,000 contingency that we put at the side, and we put aside $30,000 for property improvements. So the actual net cost is about $233,380. So what does it include? It is it is required necessity for our operational efficiency. It includes on one-time expenditure only, such as our fleet vehicle has to be actually turned over to the electrical vehicle. We have outdated program that we have to replace them, and these are to actually operating more efficiency. And we still need to spend money to updating district software application and also redesign our website, which is necessary for our operation. And if we put all of this one-time expenditure aside, we don't have, the net cost is going to be 0. How does it compare our proposed actually expenditure for 24-25 versus last year adopted budget? For salary and benefit, we are done about $19,500. That $19,500 includes the general salary increase of 3.5%, which is scheduled in December of 2024. It also includes the group insurance, which has been decreased, and it includes the retirement contribution that has been decreased. So even though our salary and benefit has been increased, the negative regarding to that one balances out to only $19,500. Then there is another factor to the opt-out cash option was previously considered as part of salary and benefits. They moved that category to services and supply. See, that's another one that it actually brought down the salary and benefit. The service and supplies, they have been up by almost $200,000. Why? Because we put aside $100,000 for consultant fees if we have to actually update our Ventura County Air Quality Assessment Guideline. This is a placeholder, so we put $100,000 aside. And as I said, the opt-out option, cash option, was moved to this category, and that from the salary and increase category. So that increased our services supply to $196,860. Our fixed asset down by 200, almost $300,000. Why? Because our renovation of building has been completed almost. There is minor remaining stuff that we have to do, that we're gonna do it. And then we still have to continue modernization of our monitoring equipment. It is necessary for our agency. We have to replace about 3 more vehicles, which is gas powered to electrical vehicle. And also we have to continue programming fees for district software applications. We put aside, that has to be updated. It's not 55,000, it is 57,000 that we put aside that we are transferring to Ventura County Transportation Commission. This is based on the 1994 MOU, and it is for wide traffic modeling, CalEMOD, and also ride-sharing programs. At the same time, we put aside $2 million from the DMV money to reduce emission from mobile sources. This is a graphic presentation of our fiscal year 24-25 proposed budget appropriation. As you see on the pie chart, 75% is being actually consumed by salaries and benefit. For fixed asset, we have about 5%, and for services and supplies, it's about 20%. This includes the $300,000 contingency budget that we put aside. Now, let's compare our proposed revenue with adopted the budget of last year. The total has been decreased by almost $95,000. Why? Because we have a closure of 2 platform and oil and gas production facilities. But we are lucky because this was offset by additional AB 617 incentive money that we got last year. And also we have an interest earning as well. Again, this is a graphic presentation of our proposed operating revenue. As you see on this pie chart, we have about 84% of our revenue coming from permit fees and also federal and state funds. About 31% is from permit fee and 54% almost from the federal and state funds. We have about 10% miscellaneous income. These are interest income, AB 617 implementation funds. We have MOU with CARBs regarding methane rule and also refrigerant that we get little money from them. When we get about 4% from other fees, these are from source testing fees that we collect, asbestos fees, AB 2588 toxic hotspot fees, Title V fees for permit processing, and variances. And we have about 2% that comes from fines and actually the penalties. What is the big picture? We are expecting that the 2 large oil and gas facilities that the close down of this is going to reduce our revenue by almost $250,000. Our stationary permit fees that we collect not fully covering the cost of our operating programs. We are lucky we have DMV fees, which they are stable, but they are only being used for vehicle-related costs, mobile sources cost. We have to continue replacing old and outdated program equipments. We are doing extremely well with our incentive program because this is not only helps the environment, it's going to help our economy, and also is going to improve our customer and businesses. And at the same time, the administration fees that we collect is going to help us with our operation. We still have to continue to improve our operating efficiency, because it is not only good for our agency, it's going to be good for our customers as well. Our rental income is actually helping us to cover some of the costs, offsetting some of the operation costs. we bring in almost $80,000 to $100,000 in additional fines. And the good news is district funds balance is in good standing, and we have sufficient to cover our estimated net cost, if any. This is our actually fund balance, the proposed allocation for our fund balance. As of starting January 2025, we're going to have about 9.9 million as fund balance. And the appropriation of the fund balance to its fund balance component, which is in conformity with the governmental accounting standards. We are not setting aside anything for non-spendable. We put $0 for restricted and $0 for committed. For assigned, we appropriate the fixed asset acquisition about $200,000, litigation about $300,000. And as I said previously, the appropriated fund balance, like this is the net cost to cover the net cost, is about $563,380. So if you add them up, deducted from the fund balance of 9.9, we're going to have about 8.85 million. Okay. This is a graphical representation of our fund balance. The red solid line shows our fund balance. The green is showing revenue, and the dashed line, the red dashed line, is going to show you the expenditure. We put two graphs for your actually in this slide for your review, actually for your information. The first one, last year when we came in, we expected that our fund balance is going to stay for this year and continue in a flat line of 9 million. The bottom graph shows you after this year, if you see the fund balance is decreasing. Why is it decreasing? Because we are, as I said, our facilities are shutting down. The big, large facilities are shutting down. So we are losing permit fees. At the same time, we are putting more money towards mobile sources because we may not even get incentive as much as we got in the past years. So we are start bringing the fund balance down, starting to this year and continue. That's what our expectation is. But still, the good news is we are above the targeted, board-approved targeted level that we want to be. In conclusion, the district is financially stable in fiscal year 24-25. Net cost is about $563,380, mostly fixed asset and capital improvement for operational efficiency. Current fund balance is above the targeted level and can cover the net cost is any, but in the past we have experienced that usually we put this money at the side, but it's not being used, and hopefully it won't be used in 24-25. We continue observing our expenses and bringing we work efficiency and keeping the fund balance at the targeted level. And we are always mitigating effect of other potential reduction in other revenues. Always we are looking for avenues to increase our efficiencies and also bringing more revenue in. That's all I have, and I'm ready to take any question you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Guzemi. Are there any questions or comments on the budget? Member Campos.
I would like to thank Mr. Ghassemi for the really well-done presentation. It's hard to come up with questions when you've already given us all the answers.
Thank you so much. It's just staff has worked very hard on this budget. They get all of the credits. We have been doing so well when the audit comes. I'm so proud of them because we always get the good report from them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Campos, and I agree. I think given that there's no questions, it's a very thorough presentation, and what I appreciate is seeing that a positive future outlook for the budget, and even considering the closure of some of these facilities, that there's some vigilance on ensuring that we're in a healthy state in the future. So appreciate the work from you and the team to see us through this process.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, I will go ahead and close the public hearing and set the second public hearing on June 25th here at 1:30 PM.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, we will move on to item 11. This is a receive and file of the unscheduled vacancy notice for Keith Millhouse. Mr. Guzemi, additional
Yes.
comments?
For the record, Ali Ghasemi, Executive Officer of Ventura County ABCD. We are informing your board that one of our hearing board members, Mr. Keith Millhouse, who was alternative attorney member, vacated his position as of September 26, 2022. The unscheduled vacancy was posted in Clerk of the Board of Supervisors office. That's all I have, and I'm taking any question you may have.
All right, are there any questions? Mr. Guzemi, I believe, how many vacancies do we have in total at this time? Is this the only one that we have?
For actually hearing board, we are modifying our guidelines because we would like to have backup. So currently, we are full, but we may end up actually replacing one or two. Yes, Keith, I'm correct.
Yes, Keith Macias, Manager of Compliance. You're correct, we have 5 full hearing board members currently. We lost 2 of our alternative members, a doctor and attorney. Oh, sorry. Keith Macias, Manager of Compliance Division. Yeah, Ollie's correct. We have 5 members currently. That's a full board, hearing board. And we have also, we had 2 alternate members, an alternative doctor and an alternative attorney. And we'd also, and Ollie was talking about, we'd also like to get an alternative public member. Okay, and the alternative members will take the place of, the other member that's out, meaning if the doctor member is out, then the alternative doctor member can replace them if they're not available for a hearing. Same with the public member can replace, one of the 2 public members. And that's our current plan. And the reason we like the alternatives is historically we struggled to get a doctor in place because they're busy, they're usually retired, and they only help us out so long. But we also like to have some more backup. So we're looking at getting some more alternative members, which is allowed by state law to have alternatives.
Great, thank you, Mr. Macias. So I would just encourage my fellow members if, to kind of put the word out there on these vacancies and assist staff in filling those. Okay, thank you. All right, and this was just a receive and file, so if
Yes.
there are no additional comments or questions, we'll move on to item number 12. And this is the approval of the reappointment of David Sell. Well, I'll hand it off to you, Mr. Guzemi.
Sure. Item 12 and 13 will be presented by Mr. Tyler Harris, our APCD Planning Manager. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair Lopez, members of the board. My name is Tyler Harris. I'm the division manager of the district. This item includes a request to reappoint 1 serving member and appoint 5 new committee members for the Clean Air Fund Advisory Committee. Committee reviews and recommends proposed projects to be funded by the Clean Air Fund. The committee consists of 13 voting members representing 4 interest groups. This instance requests appointment of 3 citizen representatives, 2 business representatives, and 1 civic and environmental representative. Also, 1 serving member vacated a citizen seat, and that term expires January 1, 2026. And that's all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Any questions on this item? Comments? Okay, and we do have an action here. So is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you. So we have a motion from Dr. Martha McQueen-Lejeune, second by Councilmember Mendez. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstentions? All right, that item carries. We'll move on to item 13, and back to you, Mr. Harris.
Good afternoon again, Chair Lopez, members of the board. Again, Tyler Harris, I'm a division manager with the district. This item supports the Vessel Speed Reduction, or VSR, incentive program called Protecting Blue Whales and Blue Skies. The district applied for a US EPA climate pollution reduction grant, and as part of the application process, US EPA requires the district to submit a memorandum of agreement between the district and the other primary partners, who are the Santa Barbara County Air Pollution Control District and the California Marine Sanctuary Foundation. The district's role in the partnership as lead applicant makes the district accountable to US EPA for the completion of the project and for management of the grant funds. The other parties are accountable to the district as specified in the memorandum of agreement. Pardon me, this memorandum of agreement includes a proposed budget of $14.4 million over 5 years. The district worked with the partners to develop this budget, which includes resources to expand Protecting Blue Whales and Blue Skies beyond the current vessel speed reduction zones and to the full west coast of the United States and potentially into the Gulf Coast and Atlantic coast. The California Marine Sanctuary Foundation staff will be managing any expansion beyond California. US EPA has not approved the grant or informed the district of its intentions regarding funding for this application. Staff recommends approval of the memorandum of agreement to avoid delays and possible disqualification of the grant application. So that's all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Any questions or comments? All right, well, great work to continue this program. In one of the last presentations, recognizing some of those participants, right, in their effort to contribute to this reduction in the speed. So it's really great work. So with that, I welcome a motion on this item.
I'll move.
I'd second.
All right, so the second was Supervisor Gurel. There. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstentions? All right. Well, with that, that brings us to the end of the meeting. So unless there's any additional questions or comments, anything that we have missed, we will go ahead and adjourn the meeting to June 25th, 1:30 p.m. here in the boardroom. Thank you.